Hello everybody, and welcome back, or to, my channel for another review. This one being of the Newage Cyclops, which you guys might recognize as Shockwave. Specifically, their take on a G1 Shockwave. And not only do I think this is a great Shockwave, but it is also the smallest figure I will have ever reviewed up to this point. Now, getting a look at him, Shockwave, obviously, a very basic design. He's got all the essentials you'd want to see out of a Shockwave. He's got the big yellow eye, he's got the purple all over, including a transparent purple on his chest, blaster, and wrists, revealing detail on his chest. The Decepticon symbols, obviously, were not there out of the box, this being a third-party figure, but overall, just turning him around, he has a metallic paint. His backpack is slightly bigger than you'd generally see, but it is G1 accurate, so I can't be too angry about that. From up above, you do get a little bit of blaster piece, but it's nothing too crazy. And then below, you also get his sight. But who's going to be looking at their figure like that? Obviously, you get the rubber hose connecting his back and his arm, and it is rubber, very flexible. And what you might have noticed is that his eye is transparent, and if you bring a flashlight, you can see it does have light piping, and in all honesty, it should be a bit better considering how much of the back of his head is yellow, but it does the job good enough if you have a good enough area of lighting. Now let's move on to the accessories. You start off getting a base, and then you get a stand for the robot mode and for the gun mode, as well as a tiny shockwave and a saluting hand. So apparently I forgot to record me plugging the flight stand in the middle, but it's pretty self-explanatory how that works. But you can store all the accessories for Cyclops on his base, and that's what I'm showing you right now. There's a big hole for his vehicle mode stand, and then two smaller holes for his hand, and then for the little baby shockwave. And now to replace his hand with his saluting hand, you just pull it out, it is on a peg, and then you plug the saluting hand into the hole. My camera was being very uncooperative here when it came to focusing, but that's fine, and you just plug the little hand in, and boom, Cyclops has his saluting hand. And then if you really want to, you can take his blaster off his hand. It's just a peg as well, but there's no dedicated hand, so you're just gonna have to deal with two right hands, I guess, which is a look, that's for sure. And now bringing in the little baby shockwave. There's not much to him. I mean, he definitely is just a smaller shockwave, way less detailed, obviously, but it does look really good. And all you do is plug it into his hand, and boom, there you go. Shockwave can now hold himself. And now if you bring in the aforementioned stand, you can just plug it in underneath his backpack. And there you go. Now Cyclops here has a little flight stand. It does support him very well, as you can see here. I have never had a problem with it. It doesn't actually like screw together or anything. It's just held together by friction, so it does fall apart relatively easy, but it does go together easier than it comes apart, so I don't mind it. But what is the point of a flight stand without posability? He has a limited ball joint at the head. He can wiggle waggle a little bit, look up a little and down a little, not much. His arms can move up on a double hinge. His shoulder is on a ball joint and can move out and do a full 360. He does have a bicep swivel, a just over 90-degree bend at the elbow, and because of the peg, he does have a wrist swivel. He does have a waist swivel, a beautiful 90-degree ab crunch. His front skirts move up, and his side skirts have to move out for you to kick it backwards or sideways, so he can kick it forward. Not all that much. You have to bend his knee a little bit to get his full potential. Backwards, just about the same. But out, he can do a lot out. He has a thigh swivel, just about a 90-degree bend at the knee. And then his pivot is kind of weird because it is a foot pivot, not a full ankle pivot, but it is very good. And there is a small amount of toe bend. Now this shockwave has all the points of articulation you'd want to see from him, and some. I think the ab crunch adds so much personally. I just overall love the posability on this figure. Now, seeing as how small this figure is, we may as well do some comparisons. Next to the Magic Square Spock, the Comic Edition Shockwave, the G1 reissue, Quakewave, Purple Potato, my previous Shockwave review, and the Magic Square Light of Peace. Now, as we all know, Shockwave doesn't come with instructions and look like a gun for no reason, so let's get into the transformation. And here is Cyclops in his Cybertronian blaster mode, and it looks pretty good. I'm a fan of it. Unfortunately, it can't really be, used all that well. There's no real purpose, aside from display, for him to be in this mode. But if we look up close at the detail, he just looks like a compressed Shockwave, and you can kind of see through his sight. But he is on a slight angle. It's kind of hard to line him up perfectly due to the way his legs transform. They're just kind of constantly moving, so it's at a slight angle. And if we move on to the front of him, and let me move up my camera, if you grab something, you can press a button right there. It's kind of hard to hit with your fingernail, that's why I suggest grabbing something, and that's supposed to light up. Mine doesn't work though. So there you can see I'm pressing the button, nothing's coming on, holding it doesn't work. I have the right battery in. I think I screwed it up because the screwdriver I used to take out the screw the first time, which by the way, you can find out exactly how to, do that in the instructions, but the magnetic screw is probably what did it. Anyways, if we bring in the Magic Square Bruticus hand, I do not have Bruticus complete, so I can't show what he looks like just yet holding Shockwave, but the Magic Square Bruticus hand can hold him pretty decently. It's not the greatest grip, but it definitely works. So I'm excited to get Bruticus complete to see how it looks. And now here he is with the Magic Square Spock, and I don't know, both of them look pretty good. I think I like Spock a bit better. Here he is with the G1 Shockwave, and yeah, obviously the G1 Shockwave is quite a bit bigger, but they both look pretty good there. Here he is with the spaceship that is the Siege mold of Shockwave, and obviously Siege Shockwave isn't truly a blaster, but he kind of is, so. And here is Quakewave, and I can't have them both on the stand at the same time, but they both look pretty. And finally, yet again, the Magic Square Light of Peace, where he actually comes up a bit taller on Light of Peace in vehicle mode, but that's probably due to the stand. Now, overall, I really do enjoy this figure. Obviously, Shockwave is one of my favorite characters, so I'm going to have a bit of a biased look at him, but I think he's great. Now, his purple is a bit darker than I'd assume a lot of people would like, but personally, I'm fine with it. I really don't care what color Shockwave is, as long as he is purple, whether it be darker, whether it be lighter, whatever. But this figure, despite being so small, I was expecting a lot less from it, but it just, blew my expectations out of the water when I got it. And I can't recommend it more if you like to get smaller figures, or if you're just a fan of collecting Shockwaves like I am. So overall, honestly, I'd have to give this thing, probably a 4.5 out of 5. The only thing I don't really like is the backpack, and that's where the 0.5 comes off. Otherwise, this thing is absolutely amazing. Shout out to Aeris, my boy. I think he has a YouTube channel, I don't really remember. But if he does, it'll be linked in the description. If not, I don't think he actually does. So Aeris, I'm sorry, I'm stupid. But Aeris is one of my best friends. He went up to DairyCon, and he got this one for me. I did pay for it. It's just the fact that I wasn't there to get it. So shout out to him. And yeah, thank everybody for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.